And now, from the bowels of the internet, it's the Hate-Bit Podcast.
Podcast is on the air. Welcome, Hater Nation. I'm Yell Chaos. With me, as always, the mighty Razor Fist.
Hello, I'm Razor Fist, and I approve this message.
The unadulterated Alpha Omega Sin.
Flex your biggest muscle and impress the ladies.
The insurmountable Sainted Magnus.
Yellow. I'm just about to sneeze.
And the man of the hour from Leisure Suit Gaming on YouTube, Silent Rob. Silent Rob, who are you and what are you doing here?
What's up, bitches? Silent Rob. I've basically been bitching and complaining on YouTube for about 5 years now. Hope to do it for 5 more. Most people probably know me from my Action 52 review I did a long time ago. I'm pretty much a one-hit wonder. Haven't really done shit since. But, yeah, and some of my fans don't think I'm a liar. I actually was on last week, but it didn't record right. So I'm back on again this week.
And we have to blame Sainted Magnus and his faulty fucking software.
No,
Yeah.
we've tested it 20 or 30 fucking times since, and it does work.
Okay,
Yeah, see,
so we should be good to go now.
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
care.
that's good to know because we always like to have a nice quality product. Even though we have the budget of a sea shanty. Anyway, wasting no time at all, it's time for a discussion. We're going to have a talk about the Resident Evil 6 trailer and the aftermath that unfolded and the remarks that IGN had. So, Razor Fist, talk about that, please.
No, we're not talking about a trailer. We're talking about a demo. I mean, the trailer, the trailer train has sailed. But
I beg your pardon, I said trailer. Fuck.
we've actually got our hands on this festering pile right now.
I'd just like to say, real quick, fuck.
That sums it up right there.
You know what?
That's-
Let's start it off. Alpha, okay, you're the Resident Evil fanboy here.
I am.
Did you enjoy the demo, or have you even played it?
To be honest, I haven't got my hands on it because you had to get the Dragon's Dogma game to get a hold of the demo. I legitimately don't have the game. I don't know anybody with the game. So all I've gotten to do is watch gameplay footage of it and talk to people that have played it. But so far, the only things that I've heard is average and below. And that's not a good sign at all.
Yeah. What about anybody else play it? Did anybody else play? Because I have.
I
I've
watched
seen-
1 or 2 gameplays myself, so I'm not particularly
I've watched
fussed.
a lot of footage of it and stuff, but I haven't played it yet. I watched some like a video on YouTube about it, but I mean, pretty much what it comes down to, you know, like it's 2012, you know, and you're gonna release a demo that has a bunch of screen tearing, loading times that are longer than Duke Nukem Forever, which is pretty hard to accomplish, really.
Yeah.
And they somehow did it, and it's just not acceptable because I mean the point of a demo is to get people psyched for the finished product, and at this point I'm definitely not as psyched for Resident Evil 6 anymore.
Yeah. I mean, where to goddamn begin?
Oh man.
All right, putting aside the fact that this game just isn't survival horror, and everybody knows I'm going to hate it for that reason alone, but let's put that aside. I mean, not even the Leon Kennedy campaign, folks. None of it is survival horror. Your 3 choices are as follows. You can have third-person shooting, you can have third-person shooting with magic, or you can have third-person shooting with atmosphere. All right, full fucking stop. But
So-
putting that briefly the fuck aside and burying it under the fucking house, let's talk about the staggering number of like legitimate design flaws. I mean, Rob, you brought it up a moment ago. The fucking frame rate. I mean, I understand the engine is 3 years old, but fuck, if your 3-year-old suddenly sprouted some crow's feet like this engine is, you'd be goddamn concerned. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
The mere act of turning the screen with your fucking character causes the screen to, I don't know, it just tears all the fucking, like, tears like fucking Kevin Nash's quad, right?
Or Vince McMahon's quad.
or Triple H's for that matter. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not a graphics whore.
Hi-oh.
For fuck's sake, I love Deadly Premonition, but this adversely affects your ability to play the fucking game.
It does. It totally does.
Particularly during that, Call of Duty opening sequence in Chris's single-player campaign. You know,
Mhm.
because you got zombies on the rooftops with sniper rifles and every other fucking thing, and it's like you're trying to turn and shoot them, and you got the screen tearing all over the place, and you don't really know where you are. And then you got these quick time events rather, all over the place. Oh, and then and then there's just a slight design misstep. Are you ready for this one, guys?
Oh,
Every
God.
fucking time you die, you go back to the main butt fucking menu. Oh, happy day!
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's
I mean,
possible that-
the only thing that I could say possibly in the defense of all of this stuff is that it's a demo. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not 100% worried about any of these issues is because since it's a demo, we already know that it's still unfinished. But at the same note, Capcom should have known, especially for having a team this big and a franchise this big, because this is one of their biggest money makers. It's one of the biggest money makers in gaming. Is you don't put out something this fucked up and expect people to be impressed by it, because if there's problems abound in it, there's a lot of people that are just going to safely assume that they're going to carry over into the final product by default and then never touch the game whatsoever. So you're losing out on sales and pushing away potential fans and potential fucking customers because you couldn't get your shit together in time.
That's it,
And,
man. I mean,
I mean-
that's totally it. Like with the Duke Nukem Forever, demo that came out, I remember playing this demo, being disgusted with it, hoping to God that like half these problems were going to be fixed in the finished product, and most of them weren't. You know, so if this is anything like that scenario, then we're all in fucking trouble.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, a lot of this is not technical issues.
Yeah.
A lot of this are just flat out design missteps and
Yeah.
things they've chosen to do with the final product. They're gonna, like, oh, the small matter of the entire opening to Jake's campaign being one protracted fucking QuickTime event. Yeah, just what I wanted. Simon Says the Zombie Edition. Thank you for that. And the loading times, of course, which you mentioned earlier. I mean, when this game finally drops, I'm going to watch the same websites that gave Duke Nukem Forever a 2 out of 10 for having abysmal loading times, then turn around and give RE6 a perfect 10 despite sporting that fault and 60 more just like it, and I'm going to laugh my balls off. And it's
Exactly.
a demo, too. It's not even reading from a disc. It's a demo. It's on my hard drive.
Can I ask one question?
What's up?
Did you mention zombies with guns?
Yes.
What?
Wait, what the fuck?
Fuck.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't you remember they don't just have guns, they have snipper whiffles.
They have
Oh,
sniper
yeah, but
rifles. Oh my god! Why?
Yeah, they have their
Why do we
snipper
need?
whiffles.
Why do we need Sniper Wolf the zombie? Come
Well,
on,
not only that, but
Capcom.
they're-
It's supposed to be a zombie survival horror, not
Well,
zombie
call
Call
me-
of fucking Duty.
Well, call me
That's-
crazy, but I these guys are also really good shots. It's like, how is your okay? You've got
How can you be a good
cerebral-
shot with a gun with a fucking decomposing eye?
They have no
Exactly.
optic nerves.
you've got
They operate
7
off of
shades.
smell.
You've got 7 shades of cerebral necrosis, and you're gonna somehow have enough of a temporal lobe to know where you are and where you need to shoot. It's
Yeah.
like, call me
What's
crazy,
that,
but I
climb
think
a fucking tree.
yeah, call me crazy, but I think
You're
when you
crazy.
die, you gotta slow down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when you die, your depth perception pretty much goes with it. You know what I mean? Like, there's
Well, it's
not
like
much
these-
there.
It's
You
like
know.
these Olympic track champion zombies in Dead Island, or even in Dead Rising, the newer games, or any of these zombie games that are coming out now. Apparently, everybody's an Olympic sprinter now when they're the
What?
undead.
I
It's
was
like
gonna say, it
rotting
could-
hamstring, but you can run like a cheetah.
It could turn out that they're going to be like in Resident Evil 4 and 5, where it's that Los Plagas or whatever, however it's fucking said, where everybody is more than capable of walking around and doing day-to-day activities, like, like in Resident Evil 5, toting a fucking minigun with you, and I don't know, having flamethrowers and whatnot. But if you shoot them in the noggin one too many times, then they have hentai tentacle rape skull action and will just come walking at you very fucking slowly, whipping their fucking head meat around.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know who
man.
else is capable of doing day-to-day activities and brandishing weapons? Human beings.
Yes.
Make a shooter if you want to make a shooter.
Jesus
Don't just-
Christ.
Don't
Well,
just have
that is
zombies-
technically what they're doing, I guess.
It is.
They are. So they're just giving them zombie textures, I guess.
Yeah, they're not pretty much coming out saying that this is going to be scary or anything like that. They're
Well,
just
no,
like, oh, here
survival
it is.
horror doesn't sell, man.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
they flat out said. It doesn't sell.
They think we're too fucking stupid to play a survival horror game. They don't think the general population would be able to handle such an experience,
Oh god.
As a survival horror game. Which is why Dead Space 3 is pretty much not a survival horror game at all anymore.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
you gotta have that second player, or else you'll shit your pants. You
Oh,
will
yeah,
fucking shit yourself silly.
Man.
Oh Jesus. I have no faith in the Resident Evil series anymore.
I don't want to say that because then it will make me cave in on myself like a fucking neutron star.
I'm sorry, but I used to love playing Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, even Gun Survivor all on the PS1, and they were good. The PS2 era Resident Evil games, we had started off strong with Code Veronica, then they released Resident Evil 4, which is just, it's not Resident Evil. Sorry, but it isn't.
You know, I like Resident Evil 4. I give it some leeway because it was the first of its kind, and it did still have a creepy atmosphere at least.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't scary, not even almost, but it had the creepy atmosphere going on. And at the end of the day, that's a big part of what makes Resident Evil Resident Evil.
True.
Yes.
But when Resident Evil 5 just look, Capcom, I'm not afraid of black people. Okay. I don't. That is not a survival horror element. Okay, I'm not.
It just isn't.
Yeah, how about we make every single boss fight a tentacle monster? Does that sound good? Let's do that.
Let's make that happen. You
Let's
can go
make
out
that
on a
happen.
fishing boat
And make everything vomit.
Well, the one I
Yeah,
liked,
make everything vomit. It has to vomit.
the one I liked was the one on 3DS, Revelations. That was brilliant.
Oh, hell
yeah.
yeah.
One of the best ones from recent years.
Dude, it makes me sad because that footage for Resident Evil 3.5, the original version of 4, that shit was scary as fuck looking. And then you see what 4 turned into. Now, I'm not knocking 4 at all, but if you see Resident Evil 3.5 and then Resident Evil 4 side by side, two completely different games. One is all about being scary. The other one is about having a horror theme and lots of action. So, you know, they definitely changed things up drastically, and it's kind of saddening because, well, I like when everything looks like it's absolutely fucking dooming, like, you know, the Silent Hill games and shit like that.
It's a shame too because Shinji Mikami worked on Resident Evil 4. He kind of hobbled his own series.
Yeah.
In a way, you know, he was also responsible for Resident Evil 1, 2, 3. I mean, he was responsible for Code Veronica, the good ones. Were all Shinji Mikami. And then he was like, you know what? This series really needs to suck now.
See, I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you guys, but I'm still bummed that Resident Evil on the Game Boy Color got canceled.
Dude, actually, I shit you not right now. It's sitting on my desktop.
Oh my god, dude.
I'm not even fucking lying. And here's something. This is for everybody to know, because this was going to be a future episode that I was going to put out. Wait, what now?
Are you talking about Resident Evil Gaiden?
No. This is a complete port of the first Resident Evil on Game Boy Color.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, screen for screen. There's lots of footage online, but somebody got a hold of 2 beta carts of the game, and they basically said, look, it's going to cost, I think altogether it cost about $3,000 to $4,000 to obtain them. So this person set up a fucking like Indiegogo page or some shit and got the funds together. So he bought the cards from the person, burnt them as ROMs, and put them online for mass consumption. And I've played them numerous times. It's fucking awesome. It really is. I understand it's a Game Boy Color game, but it's Resident Evil in 8-bit. And
yes.
Dude, it's fucking amazing. Like,
is it the full game? Do they have the entire mansion in there? Is it like done?
It only goes up to a certain point. They don't have everything implemented into it. Like, for instance, they only have zombies. Like, that's literally it. So there's no spiders, hunters, Cerberus dogs, and shit like that. But I mean, this is a fucking technical achievement and then some. It's fucking, it's just awesome as hell. That and at the very beginning of it, I've made fun of this time and time again. But at the beginning of Resident Evil, the announcer's like Resident Evil. Well, you get to hear this in 8-bit, and it sounds like this. And it's dude,
That's
it's
worth
fucking
it
hilarious.
just for
man.
that. That's worth it just.
Yeah,
for that.
it's like this.
And well, I say, and no matter what, it's still got to be at least eons better than Resident Evil 2 for the Tiger Gamecom.
Dude,
Oh.
I shit you not, it really is, because I fucking played that abomination, and that's hands down the worst Resident Evil ever created. And if anybody else was unfortunate enough to fucking play that, please comment and say your 2 cents about it, because that thing is a clusterfuck of fuckery of fuckness. I don't know. There lots of fuck in there, but it sucked. Anyway.
Well, but those are our thoughts on the Resident Evil 6 demo and so on.
Well, I ain't looking forward to playing it, I'll tell you.
I know. Well, we'll see, Worse things have happened, I think. I don't know. But anyway, we have to go now into the female bag and go through some questions that the Hater Nation's been asking. And if you have a question for the Hate-Bit Podcast, please drop us a line at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. And also, don't forget, you can also drop us a line at our inbox at YouTube. youtube.com/hatebitpodcast, the Rusty Shackelford channel. And you can also drop us a line at Facebook, facebook.com/hatebitpodcast. And if you bitch and complain that I don't answer your questions that come out of the Facebook or the YouTube inbox, it's because your question sucks. Anyway.
And we don't give a fuck.
Yeah, well, that's part of it too.
Well, I don't give a
But,
shit anyway, so it don't matter.
This first comes out of our Gmail box, and it's from Chris Lee. And Chris Lee says, "Hello to you 4 glorious bastards.
Yay.
Greetings from Canada." Uh-oh.
Oh.
He says, "It's great to see you guys trying to get people away from the usual quote-unquote gamer stereotypes." He says, "I love the podcast and hope you continue it for many years." He says, "My question is, what do you think would be the best move for Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo in the next generation of consoles?" He goes on to say, "P.S. I don't count the Wii U as a next-gen console. It's just Nintendo catching up." Well,
that's the best description of the Wii U I have ever heard. Nintendo catching up. Thank you. Thank you.
Nintendo.
Are you going to go off another one of these faggoty technology things when you were just against technology a few minutes ago?
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
That's the best description of the Wii U ever.
But it's also evidence that Nintendo doesn't have to play by your fucking rules. That's why no one had the nerve to put their sales figures against the Nintendo Wii sales figures.
Box. Get back in your question.
Nintendo's just now getting to the year 2005. You got to let them catch up. They don't really
realistically, where could they have gone, man? They've been, they're known for simple games. They didn't need that. But that's aside from the point. My advice, this is just my advice. I want the other guys to weigh in on this, but my advice for Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo: Sony, get the fuck out. But aside from that, make some fucking games. That's my advice. Make games. If you make games, you might stop losing money. I don't,
Not so much. Sony is still hemorrhaging money, and they make all kinds of games. It's just unfortunate.
So is Microsoft.
No, Microsoft doesn't make any games. They're completely out of the game business. That's the thing.
They try to flog the cheap tablets on us. Oh, hang on, they're not cheap. They're 500.
And that's the point I'm trying to make. Sony's inundating the market with a bunch of software, and what's it doing? They're spinning their wheels in the mud. I mean, they've released a lot of games, but at least for me, anyways, they suck. I don't care about Uncharted. I don't care about God of War or any of it. Whatever.
Those are not games. Those are some sort of fantasy simulation thing for people who have very moot lives.
I don't know. To me, if the PS3 never comes out with another game, to me, I just look at it like, well, at least Metal Gear Solid 4 came out on it,
Yep.
That's all I really care about.
I'll just go up and buy a DVD or a shitty movie.
Well, my advice for games companies as a whole, listen to your consumers. Because they seem to be saying all these things and they're not doing them, and then they say, oh, we listen to our fans, we listen to people, and then they don't. So maybe they should actually just practice what they preach and listen to people.
As long as Sony doesn't give away my personal information, I don't give a fuck what they do.
No, exactly. But that outage was last year, and they actually came out and apologized for it, so at least they got fucking balls to apologize about it. Unlike fucking Microsoft, they've not even apologized for it.
For what?
well, they've been hacked this past year as well. We all know that. And they said,
Or,
no, it's something else. I don't care.
What?
They got
The
hacked.
diff-
End of story.
the difference being that Sony overtly lied to your face for a week straight and said it wasn't hacked. You remember
And
that?
they knew about it beforehand because people told them, "Hey, your security's fucked up," and they're like, "Nah, it's all good."
It's cool. Your
It's
your
cool.
information's not in the hands of hackers. Then when it turned out it was like, oh shit, now we got to admit it. And
Yeah.
then
Now,
it's like,
now
oh,
the
shit.
backpedaling starts.
Yeah, and that it was down for that.
I will admit, I was actually a bit pissed off at Sony because they were going derp half the fucking time that this outage happened, and
Oh,
there
fuck yeah.
was no, like you said, there was no explanation for a while. I wasn't happy myself, but I wasn't one of those stupid idiots that puts the credit card details on the games consoles.
That's it, man. I mean, nobody's defending Sony for that shit. I mean, I've defended Sony for several things in the past, but that was just some bullshit.
Hmm.
For that, for sure.
Yeah, and in terms of Microsoft, start making games.
Yes, do it. You used to make awesome games. You used to make Mech Warrior, dude.
Mech
make
Warrior
some
was
more
fantastic.
They still own the BattleTech license. Make something with it. Jesus. Anyways, sweet God. So yeah, what else is in the mailbag sucker?
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it, but it's a bunch of shit.
Well, you stop sending us your feces in emails.
Yes, please stop sending us your feces. Well, then we're just gonna have to jump right into the show. Thanks, dicks. Anyway,
Nothing on the face.
you know what? It's been nothing but doom and gloom on the scene for Sega. With their closings in Europe and closing in Australia. But the Sainted Magnus was telling me just a little while ago, there's big news. They're releasing a big game, and I want him to tell you about it. So, Sainted Magnus, tell us all about what's going on with Sega.
Well, recently I bought a Sega Saturn, and it came with the 3D pad and Nights into Dreams. Nights into Dreams was a big game for Sega, as we know, during the Saturn. It was quite a system seller at the time, even though the system was near enough dead at the time. They are re-releasing a HD remake of it on the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live Arcade, which is actually quite good because it shows that Sega are not going to die just yet. So if there is another thing that they've got done with it as well. Not only has it all been nicely done for modern consoles, they've even got the Sega Saturn original version on there, and there is speculation that there's going to be the Christmas nights as well included in that lot. Pricing probably usual £15 or 1,200 Microsoft points, so that's pretty good news. Thoughts?
I remember playing Nights into Dreams on my neighbor's Saturn back in the day, back in elementary school, and loving the hell out of it. It was a bit like the Superman. Now this is a terrible description because it's gonna make you think it sucks, but it's a bit like the Superman 64 flying through rings, except it worked.
Hmm.
And
That makes sense. Oh yeah, man. I mean, whatever Sega can do for them to get their shit together, I'm fine with. You know what I mean? Because I grew up with Sega. I was a Sega Super Nintendo guy, and it's hard to see Sega in the position that they've been in lately. And I'd love to see them back on top, and anything that they can do to fucking get there is fine with me.
Yep. So anybody that's got a PlayStation 3 or an Xbox 360, please download this game because it is a really beautiful game, and I was an idiot. I was an idiot for missing out on it the first time around. So
yeah, it's a classic. It's got a great art style. It's got a really smooth play style. It's a lot of fun.
yep,
Definitely
and stay away
check it
from the
out.
Wii version. I know.
I will say this. One thing I would like to see, if at all possible, is during the holiday season, if they, just for shits and giggles, would re-release the Christmas nights as well. That'd be pretty damn cool.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Well, I've got Christmas nights on disc, so I'm happy with that,
Sweet.
and it's awesome.
Yay! Nights into Dreams. I've seen that game so much, but I've never actually played it myself, and now I feel strange.
Yes, now you feel left out.
I do.
play the game.
That's right. That's right. It's time to play the game, and Lemmy's gonna come over to my house. It'll be great.
Yeah, and can somebody
but
just?
I'm gonna, as far as Sega reclaiming the top of the heap. Any real betting man would bet against that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Optimists, on the other hand, but there's no optimist in casinos.
I will
Anyway.
laugh if they came out with a console and it shat on all 3 fucking systems.
Oh, well,
Next
we'll talk about
generation.
that another time because that's a different discussion.
I wish they would, but I also wish unicorns would descend from heaven and bestow us all with a single wish for mankind. Well, that's not gonna happen.
I wish for something completely different. I think Silent Rob would back me up with this one. Get rid.
No, see what?
Get rid.
But anyway,
Get rid of My Little Pony.
that's good.
Just
Oh,
get rid of
God,
My Little
yeah.
Pony. Just get rid of it. Oh,
I mean, haven't we had enough? I mean, really.
I know, just leave
I
it
know.
alone. But anyway, there's other news going on.
Alone.
One of my favorite guys in gaming. What?
why should we leave it alone?
Because there'll be activists on our front lawn. Anyway,
That's what
Shigeru
we've.
Miyamoto has been talking, and apparently that's all he does anymore. But he's been talking about some games for the Wii U and otherwise. And Alpha Omegason's going to fill you in about this one that I'm calling Miyamoto Mania. Alpha?
So Miyamoto decided that he would give us some pretty gnarly news about upcoming Wii U releases, and he said that he is really digging on the idea of making not only another Metroid game, but another Star Fox game. And those are two titles that, one, are very important to the Nintendo catalog as well as to all Nintendo fans. But this actually makes me happy. Think about the prospects of the controller being implemented into both of these series. Like if we could see maybe a new Metroid Prime 4, maybe that could be perfect for the Wii U tablet. And as for Star Fox, I don't know, maybe make it like you're inside the cockpit and I guess just steering around and looking through there or some shit. I have no fucking clue, but I'm just all on board for this idea. So yay.
I'd
Oh,
like
yeah, I mean, as long as Team Ninja doesn't have anything to do with that new Metroid, we'll be okay.
We don't speak of that. Other M
Yeah.
isn't really a game. It just no. And for
What
the
do you
few
mean,
people that are
guys?
going to defend it, just no. Stop it.
What do you mean? Movie Blob said it was the greatest Metroid game ever made. Surely.
It was a
Yeah, because
fucking prequel.
Yeah,
The
here's what you
fearless
really
work of-
need to do. You need to take a fucking bounty hunter and, a solo bounty hunter and then make her into a fucking complete and utter blubbering bitch. Oh, and then she takes orders from a whole bunch of people that are just faceless fucking drones. And
Yeah.
just throw that in. Oh, and make the game just all around feel like shit. That's exactly what you want after coming off a successful trilogy.
Let's have
Bad
the
control
aiming never
coupled
really
with bad
feel
story. That's fucking awesome.
Hey, you know what? In the defense of Metroid Other M, I have to say, then there's one thing that is without a question you have to take this into consideration now. It's got a very pretty picture on the front.
Fair enough.
That was my
I was
defense.
gonna say, okay, yeah, I guess I can say, okay, yes, it does have a pretty picture on
The
it.
only
anyway.
thing it's got going for it is Zero Suit Samus titties at
Yes.
regular intervals. That is the
Well, there
only
is
thing
that.
it's got going for it. And
Dude, I was gonna
clearly
say
that's the only-
Google image searches are filled to the fucking brim and overflowing with those.
Oh yeah.
Just type in Samus boobies on Google and you get loads and loads of boobies.
Dude, just type in
Yeah.
Metroid FAP, and there you go. It's just
Oh,
Dude,
man.
you don't even
shit,
have
look
to
at
type
this,
that
Stoner
in,
City.
man. You don't even have to. You can just type in Samus Aran, and you will see more tentacles in your life than you will at any Chinese food restaurant on this planet.
Ew.
And it just happens to be true.
I know. Well, it's the thing for this, that Miyamoto's going to make a Star Fox game, and he's talking about, they're like, wouldn't it be a great time to bring this up right around June when the entire world was watching? It's a little late now.
Yeah. What was that event called? E3 or?
I don't
No, it was
remember. It's
Abomination.
really shitty though, and I don't recommend we watch it anymore. But they're gonna fucking make us, so whatever. Anyway, we wish the best out of Shigeru Miyamoto and whoever he chooses to work with. Give me some fucking games, and as soon as you do,
Yeah.
then I'll buy your iPad thing.
And
So
then
it-
wipe off your greasy face, please.
Yeah.
That's part of it too. Maybe Pikmin are fueled by greasy faces.
Possible.
Think about that.
It looks like he gets a facial with fucking
Because
Frisco.
if you know anything about, science and history, aliens are powered by Al Bundy's socks. It's the exact same thing.
I love
Greasy
that
faced
episode.
Japanese video game developers and socks.
There is one thing I want to see on the Nintendo Wii U.
What do you mean see on the Wii U there?
I'd like to see another Rogue Squadron game.
Well, Factor 5's out of business, so
Well,
unfortunately.
maybe somebody should buy up the rights for it and actually make a decent game. Make another game. Because
No, what they should make, what they should make is another X-Wing game. Fuck
Yeah.
Rogue Squadron.
But Rogue Squadron was good. You can't.
They need
It
to
was
go-
good.
It was good.
They need to
It
go
was
back in
good.
time and not release Lair.
Yes.
That's what they need to do.
You know what? That right there probably would have saved them, and they'd still be making stuff today.
Told
Yeah,
us.
you know what? Fuck this video game stuff. We're needing to devote all our money to space travel or time travel technology to go and undo, and things will probably be better when we got back.
Dude, that's why we need to have Terminators to undo all the bad ideas. For that one drunken imbecile at the fucking CEO conference who was like,
Yeah.
give it the green light. You put a fucking bullet in that asshole's noggin and you're fucking done.
You
Yeah,
can
no
do,
Lair. We'll
Right.
go back in time.
That'd
We'll
be
stop.
good.
We'll go back in time. We'll stop Lair from being released. We will go ahead and we will set the PS3's price point at $4.99 maximum out of the gate.
Yes.
And we will.
Yes.
We'll make sure the 6-axis works.
it does
We,
work.
we will not mention giant enemy crabs ever.
Never.
Okay.
We will not have the killer app at E3 2006 be Ridge Racer.
Oh, God. Racer.
Well, let's not forget now, that can change the future. So by the time we get back, the PS3 would have been $4.99, and the only problem is it implodes when it comes in contact with air.
Oh, and over on the Microsoft side, we'll stop Microsoft from selling BioWare to Electronic Arts. We will
Yo.
stop that from happening.
Actually, we could just go back and stop Microsoft.
Yes.
I'd go back a bit further and stop Electronic Arts.
You
Yes.
can make a Wolfenstein game off of that. Go back in time to stop Microsoft.
If we're doing anything, I'm going back and killing Activision. I mean, everybody there. Not just like the company. I mean, like everybody associated with it with a fucking hand axe.
Unfortunately, if you went back in time, that would be the only time they were releasing good games.
That's it, man. That's it.
In both cases,
Well,
you go
this
back and
also
kill
depends on
Electronic
how far
Arts.
back I'm going.
Yeah, you go back and kill Electronic Arts, you're going to stop my favorite Wing Commander games from being released, and that's not going to happen. I will. I will
And
kill you.
they are
Jason,
also
Now I'll make it doubly more worth doing it now. I'm
See,
honestly, no, they were good
they
games.
did publish Brutal Legend and Shadows of the Dam, so EA at least gets a slight nod from me.
That's
As
true.
long as I get my Madden every year, then I'm
There you
good.
You've just lost all modicum of respect from that
Oh
statement.
Hey, guys. You're not going to believe this. A game developer said something really fucking stupid. And
How fucking stupid.
it's so fucking stupid that it's going to make your head implode. David Cage, Wonder Boy David Cage, said earlier in the week, games must innovate or die. Razorfist, what's this fucking cretin talking about?
David Cage, first off, to set the stage. I know a lot of you don't know him by, first and last name basis, but David Cage is the wunderkind behind Quantic Dream, the studio that gave us Heavy Rain and is going to be giving us the Ellen Page Scowl Stravaganza Beyond Two Souls. And also, of course, Fahrenheit and Indigo Prophecy.
And you missed one
But-
game.
Yeah, all I wonder is, why is it every 6 months or so this self-anointed societal auteur, David Cage, somehow he finds some time between his communions with the burning bush up on the mountaintop to deign to speak for the unwashed, stupid masses. I mean, I can respect the sentiment that all games shouldn't be about spraying monsters with fucking laser rifle fire, because he did actually say, he was like, it's nice that you can have lots of games where you shoot monsters, but you should occasionally have a game that comes out that requires people to think. I can respect that sentiment, but let's be real here. Is a vacuous rail shooter any more vapid and experienced than a shitty movie with QuickTime events? Really?
True,
Pardon me while I collapse into paroxysms of laughter. You're trying to tell me the FPS genre has repeated itself too much? I mean, when this shithead finally pinches out beyond Two Souls, Quantic Dream will have officially released the same exact pretentious fucking game 3 times in a row.
That's it. That's
In
it.
a row!
You know, and like I said, I defended Heavy Rain when it first came out, but we were talking about this earlier. It is just not a game that holds up to repeated playthroughs.
Oh, not at
That's the
all.
thing with most games like that. You play it once, and you just there doesn't seem to be any point to put it in your PlayStation or your Xbox again.
Well, here's the thing. This is how people are going to go about defending it, and I will use the same argument that I did whenever we were talking about this before we started the podcast, and that's this. The game has multiple endings. Okay, that will warrant repeated playthroughs. Granted. Okay, you can go and see these multiple endings. That's all fine and good, but really, how fucking different are they to warrant a fucking secondary, third, or fourth playthrough?
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
you're not seeing different areas. You're not playing as new people. You know, the endings aren't showing off like a bunch of really different stuff. It's like, well, this person's dead. That person isn't dead. This person's alive, and that one might be dead. Okay, everybody's dead, but now they're all alive in this end. It's like, no, that's not different enough. Life and death should not dictate me wanting to just play through it. It's not that fucking interesting.
Yeah, like Mass Effect 3's endings. It's not vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. It's vanilla with a cherry on top, or plain vanilla. You know what I mean?
That's it,
like,
man.
that's all. That's all it is, guys. That does not change it all that radically. And I can only assume that David Cage's design to make more cerebral video games, it's got to be part of the French master plan to raise more intelligent, shrieking cowards.
Cheesy surrender monkeys. All the French are cheese-eating surrender monkeys. I'll say that being British.
No, they're cheese-eating, smoking surrender monkeys.
They don't even smoke properly. They smoke menthol.
Well, the problem, but they also
smoke
what
menthol.
they do wrong, they make up for it in volume.
Yeah.
Good old France. They've got such great taste in video games and movies and art and culture that they have no taste left when it's time to go vote for their leaders.
Oh.
How can you take a country serious where they eat fucking bugs that you find in the back garden and frogs?
and the legs of amphibians.
And I am a Francophile, for the record, but come on.
Are you really?
I am. I'm big time. I love French comics and French food, and yeah, I'm a big old Francophile.
You love Jerry Lewis?
Oh God.
I didn't bathe today. I mean, it's clearly.
My bitch don't shave her armpits.
Yeah, I use Easy Cheese as deodorant.
Oh God. No, but this is a point that I'm just going back on topic here. I know it's a shock, but we're going back on topic.
We were actually
it's like you just mentioned with David Cage saying we need to innovate or games are going to die. Well, there's loads of all these big messiah type fucking games developers and idealists and all that sort of bullshit. They always seem, as soon as they open their mouths, you're like, please don't say anything. Please don't say anything. Like recently was Alpha's done a video about it. Fucking Peter Molyneux offering $50,000 worth of DLC for one fucking item that you use fucking once.
It's a diamond pickaxe, don't you know?
There we go. Exactly. Now, a lot of people are just going to eat this fucking up. And Alpha mentioned a comment that absolutely brought the rage from below, out into the open. And it's these people. These people know that they can get people to eat out their hand. It's these. It's trying to find the right words, really, but they're all idiots. I'm sick and tired.
Is that what you mean by innovation? How about this? How the innovation that's taking place in the industry. And what happens when you bring something innovative to the table? They tell you to get the fuck out of here because that's not what drives profit.
Exactly.
It's true.
So
it's like, no, what are you talking about? Innovation. Give me a sequel to the innovative game, the game that was innovative in 1998. Give me a sequel of that.
Yeah, you mean the innovation you've been suppressing for the last fucking 9 years?
When's the new Call of Duty coming out? That's all I want to know.
November.
No.
Yeah, unless you're going online and shooting people with your friends, it's going to end up getting completely and utterly fucking ignored.
Everybody can easily tell you when the next Call of Duty is coming out, right before Christmas and right before summer vacation.
I can tell you because it's twice a year. There you go. Zing.
There you go. But anyway, you know what? It's time. We're going to do a segment that we haven't done in a long time, and we know you guys like it because you always tell us about it on the Facebook. And this is the video game circle jerk. What games have we been playing? What have we been enjoying about ourselves? And, you know, Alpha Omega Sim was just bursting. He was the first one, so we got to do this. So he's going to do it. So do it.
I don't want to
I
hear
was
about
bursting
someone.
everybody.
Yeah,
You don't
I
wanna
don't
hear
want to hear about
Circle
Alpha.
bursting?
After we've established that this is a circle jerk, I don't want to hear about anyone bursting.
Hey, number one, I'm the one that told you wear a fucking plastic tarp. It's not my fault that you didn't bring a fucking plastic tarp.
Ain't you never seen Gallagher before?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these things happen. Just be lucky that you're not a female, or else you'd be like super impregnated.
He just compared you to Gallagher.
I'll get melon squishins on me.
I was gonna say, but I don't have a
Oh,
mallet. I just
God.
fucking slam my wiener down on watermelons, and then everybody's perplexed, amazed, and scared at the same time, and slightly aroused. We'll throw that in too.
And you find it hard to walk for the next day or so.
Oh yeah, the video game circle jerk, because you know talking about Gallagher is totally a circle jerk worthy topic.
It is.
Absolutely. Alpha Omega Sim, what you playing?
It's kind of ironic because I was talking about this earlier. The past 3 games that I've played are all zombie themed. Actually, no, the past 4 games I've played are all zombie themed games. That mentioned earlier was talking about the Resident Evil for Game Boy Color. Well, I've played through that ROM several times now and have enjoyed the living shit out of it. I've also been trying to set people down in front of him, like, play this and be amazed, and they're just looking at it and laughing, and I'm just like, you won't understand, this is a technical achievement, fuck you. I've also been playing Biohazard, which is what Resident Evil's called in Japan, but I got it for Sega Saturn because it has exclusive modes, a completely uncut intro, and a bunch of other shit. I just want to play it because it tickled my fancy. Also been playing Lollipop Chainsaw for a second time, because I like that game quite a bit. It's pretty cute. And the last game is Dead Rising Off the Record for PS3. I've been playing that a lot. I've just been in the sandbox mode. I have not left sandbox mode. I haven't even played through the regular campaign mode. It's just been all sandbox. So yeah, zombies everywhere. And it was completely unintentional. Just happened to match up for my theme.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
That's fantastic. You know, Razor Fist, have you been playing any games at all? I know you're a very busy man.
Yes. I've been playing through. After I did that top 10 games thing, it made me want to play a lot of my old games. So I've been doing Blade Runner. I've been doing concurrent playthroughs of Blade Runner from 1997, the Westwood game, and
Just to test out the randomizing feature?
yeah, it's really fun. And Daggerfall, I got the there's this great program called Daggerfall Install, and it fixes, you know, normally if you get a Daggerfall, it runs on DOS, so you got to get DOSBox and you got to install everything to a specific directory, and it's a whole hassle and everything, and you can't install the game normally and all this fucking bullshit. So this program circumvents all that, and it installs it like a normal program would be installed now. So you don't have to fuck around with DOSBox, and it installs all the best mods, like fan-made mods for the game. So it fixes the music. The music sounds better.
Dude, stuff like that is really essential too for like old ass PC games, unless like you have an old PC sitting around.
Yeah, and it's an install file, and the game is public domain now, so it's not piracy or anything. You just go get this it's called Daggerfall Install, puts the whole thing on your hard drive. Don't have to hassle with any of that nonsense, and you get extra quests, fan-made stuff. The textures are slightly improved. The music is improved. It's fucking great. It's fantastic. So.
Fuck yeah. Halt.
Yeah.
Halt.
Halt.
Well, that's very good. You know what? Aside from, before we go any further, I just want to commend all of you on your 10 video games that define me as a gamer. Those were fantastic videos. I just want to
Where's
say.
yours then, asshole?
No one gives a shit what I do.
Oh,
Yes, I
he throws out a compliment and gets shit on. That's kind of depressing.
Whatever. No one gives a shit.
He's like,
They're
good
just-
job on the videos. You're an asshole. And he's like, oh.
Yeah, where is yours? Come on, I want a video response in my
no
fucking
one
mailbox
cares,
tomorrow.
man. No one. They just want me for talking like this. Anyway, Silent Rob, what have you been playing, man?
I've been playing this game. It just released on the Xbox Live Arcade called Splunky, which it used to be a freeware game. You could like download on PC for free, and you still can. But it's fucking amazing. Like it's it's a roguelike, and I've been getting into roguelikes ever since I played The Binding of Isaac. And it basically means you have one life and you have to get through all these levels, and you got to use the items that you find and shit. And it's really fucking addictive, and it's hard as shit. Like, average life expectancy in this game is like 30 seconds and some shit. Like, it's ridiculous, but it's super fun. And that's pretty much all I've been playing. I've been trying to beat it. So
Nice.
That's very good, very good. For myself, I'm right now in the process of just building up all the my Wii library, because we're getting towards the end, so the games are getting cheaper. And I opened up a game just the other day, and I absolutely adore, called Sin and Punishment.
Ooh.
that's a good game right
Sounds
there.
like a hentai dating sim.
Yeah, it's no kidding, right? No, Sin and Punishment Star Successor, and it's just a fabulous game. It's an on-rail shooter, and it plays a lot like the way fucking Kid Icarus Uprising should.
Nice.
It's a fantastic game, and I enjoy it very much. And then on my 3DS, a game that the Sainted Magnus recommended to me, Mighty Switch Force.
Yay.
Oh,
That game is insane. I love it.
It is the best game I've ever
I
played.
can't say enough good things about it, and it seems like it's fucking huge. So I'm gonna be going at that for a long time. But it's a
and
really
before
great
we
game.
move- Is that all you? Is that all?
That's all for me. What were you gonna say?
Okay, because I got to throw out one thing before we move on, and I know nobody's gonna think I would ever play this game again, but I've been doing it because I finally worked my emulator so that I can improve the graphics a bit. I own this game on disc, for the record, so it's not like I'm cheating anyone out of money here. But Final Fantasy VII, believe it or not.
Just to see what the big fucking deal is.
I was gonna say, legitimately,
honest
they
to
have
God,
some
I
pretty
just
nice
wanted to
mods
see
for
what
it.
the difference was in graphics. And for the record, I mean, I did a whole video called Final Fantasy VII is balls, and yeah, that pissed off a lot of people. But at the end of the day, it's really more the long-term effects of the game that I hate than the game itself. Although the game does have more issues than 2000 AD. But it's got some serious problems like grinding and stuff like that. But that apparently the fanboys are convinced do not exist for one reason or another. But yeah, anyway, so I gave that a brief playthrough. I'm not exactly married to the concept of playing it, but I had to throw that out there because I knew everyone would get a kick out of it.
Well,
Well,
once
I've
in a
just
while,
died.
you got to play a game. There's no one says you have to convert to the religion of Final Fantasy.
No.
Or the religion that is Final Fantasy, because you notice no matter how invalid or, let's just face it, destroyed that series is, there's a bunch of people who continue to pray at the pulpit, and that's
Me.
Yeah.
interesting. We'll call it that. We'll call it interesting. Anyway, so that was a video game circle
Hang
jerk.
on a
and
minute.
that's- Oh, what is there more?
Yeah, there's me, dickhead. Jesus,
I thought you already
fucking
spoke. You
Christ.
talk too much as it is.
I don't talk too much as it is. All right, fine.
No, please
You
go
love
on.
this sound of your own bastard voice, don't you?
Oh, that's lovely, man. It makes
Yeah.
panties. You wish you could do the same thing. Please go on.
I can do that.
Oh.
All I need to do is just open my mouth and girls' panties go boo.
Ooh.
They make that noise too.
Yeah, they do.
Make a
'Cause
disco
they get
synthesizer
friction burns down the legs because they've gone down that fast. But anyway,
I figured they would just disintegrate.
yeah, they do. Right. Well, I've been having a lot of Sega goodness recently, so I just recently bought a game. Well, actually, I bought it yesterday. It was a double pack with Soul Feast and Cobra Commander or Cobra Command. Cobra Command, pile of shite. I hate the game. But Soul Feast is a complete parallel. It's brilliant. It's a lot better. Total opposite. Fun little shooting game. Completed it twice. On the Saturn, been playing Nights into Dreams. I've been playing Street Fighter Alpha on that. Trying to get some characters unlocked on it.
Nice.
And I tell you what, the Saturn is brilliant for 2D fighting. Really,
Yeah,
I want to get.
absolutely.
So
Didn't they
I must
have,
get more.
Didn't they have a Saturn version? I could be mistaken, but didn't they have a Saturn version of Eternal Champions as well?
I think I knew they had one for Sega CD. But I'm
Okay,
sure.
maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because they had the same boxes, so it could be confusing. On the Vita, I've been playing on Wipeout 2048. It is a fantastic game. It's not as good as what the PlayStation 1 versions of the games are, but it's good. It's got a lot of content, a lot to do. The community's not as strong as what it is on the PlayStation 3, but it's still good. And on the Wii, I have been playing on Dragon Ball Revenge of King Piccolo, which is basically it's like a 3D side scroller. It's just a basic beat 'em up game, but it's fun. It's fun. It's cute. It's all that sort of thing. It's not really a system seller, but it's just fun. So that's my contributions to the Circle Jerk. And Yo Chaos, don't you dare forget me again.
Oh, whatever.
Don't forget, I hold your contract.
Oh, July 4th just passed. I thought we got rid of you pricks.
Oh, shut up.
Anyway, you know what? That brings us to halftime, and it's time to jump back into the colostomy bag. It's a different bag from the female bag, if you didn't know. And this piece of mail is a very interesting piece of mail. It's very, very thought-provoking. I thought I'd bring it up. It comes from Wooden Salsa, and he says, one thing that has always perplexed me about online, the first thing you do is you got to kiss our ass, man, and then we'll read your question, but we'll make an exception this once. He says, one thing that has always perplexed me about online video game reviewers is that almost all of them do so in an intentionally angry and abrasive manner. Many even flaunt their angry demeanor right there in their title, like the Angry Video Game Nerd, Angry Joe, Razorfist's own show, The Rageaholic, and even this very podcast, the Hate-Bit Podcast. And he puts an exclamation point because apparently I was supposed to be shouting this entire time. And then in parentheses he says, even though you guys don't actually do reviews, but whatever, it's still video game related. Well, I knew that. He says, my question is, finally, why do you think so many people come at reviewing video games in such an intentionally angry manner? Maybe a reason is that being angry or loud is there to cover up the fact that many of these people are not very entertaining or funny in their own right.
Yeah.
Video games are something that many of us love very much, so do you think that it's a good thing that in order to review games online, many people seem to think it a rule that you must be aggressive, profane, and loud as possible when doing said reviews? By the way, when I say angry, he puts that in quotation marks, that's not necessarily the same thing as quote-unquote negative. Razorfist had many positive reviews, yet he is still a good example of an angry reviewer, i.e. plenty of swearing and raging, even if the rage isn't directed at the game in question. I love the podcast, you guys. Oh, well, there it is. You're supposed to start with that. And he says, keep it up, you majestic archetypes of masculinity. Sincerely, Wooden Salsa.
Can I
wow,
just... That was a long-winded fucking question.
That was a mouth... Wow.
Yeah.
But the long and short of it is, why do you think there's so many angry reviewers? I think it's because...
Because everything sucks?
It's because they're just emulating James Rolfe for the... Because he is the archetype of fucking angry reviewing, isn't he, apparently? But
well, throwing out mine, my show is named The Rageaholic. You would think I would be some kind of like raving AVGN clone. Number one, I didn't name my show. My video editor did. I still don't like the title because I don't even mostly rage at things. I could say I've been genuinely angry on my show maybe twice in 50
It's too late to change it now, though.
Yeah, everybody knows it is The Rageaholic now. So I was thinking...
You should the Snidaholic.
I know, right? Yeah. So I just, at the end of the day, I think it's... he just came up with that, so I assume he was thinking of the AVGN at the time, so I guess you got a point there. But it's really just because it's much easier, like Ask Yahtzee, it's much easier to write negative humor than it is to write positive. Yahtzee couldn't be funny if he was being positive, and he has to get negative to be funny. And that's kind of the thing. It's a crutch, really, at the end of the day.
But then he's angry at his fans as well. He's just a dick, full stop. And to be quite honest, he's Australian, not British. Haha, there we go. Fuck you, asswipe.
There you go.
But I just want to touch on this whole fact that we are the Hate-Bit podcast. We don't review games. We tear apart the decisions that these bastards make. They fuck us over with DLC. They fuck us over with overpriced, half-made games. They give us glitchy fucking products. What else are we supposed? Who else is raging and bleating about it? Well, I don't see any other hateful podcast out there. And
yeah, Epic, even like Epic,
which is really surprising.
Yeah, whoever the fuck else is out there, they're all relatively like here's a news item. You know, what here's a game where the obligatory game we're all going to review in concert this week, and here's a contest and things like that. So
well, it seems to me that most of the reviewers online, you know, nowadays, it used to be everyone was angry, but now everyone just seems to be kissing your dick. And I'm not going to name names, but it seems like everybody wants to be picked up and sponsored and all of that.
There's a lot of that. They've lost their independent edge. They've lost that independent edge. Like, look, I love Spoonie. I've always liked his reviews. I think even when he's bad, he's kind of good. But because he's just a talented dude and a good writer. But the minute he got a press pass to E3, I'm sorry, I can't take you seriously at that point. Because then that means, okay, you remember at 2009 E3 where everybody got a free Xbox 360 Slim? You remember that? Or was that 2010? I think it was 2010, actually.
2010 when it came out.
Where everybody got a free Xbox 360 Slim, everybody in the audience. That means Spoonie's in the audience, or whoever the heck it is in the audience, when they get that 360 Slim. You're not unbiased at that point. You're not as objective. You know, you've been kind of corrupted in a sense. It's impossible to stay objective at that point.
I agree.
So I just, at that point, when people like Angry Joe and people like, you know, whoever get the press pass to E3, it's hard to take them seriously after that point.
Well, it seems like the whole thing of being an online personality now is a race to become a shill.
Yeah, it's one thing or another too. It's you're either angry or you have a set of titties.
Well, see, that's the thing too. You know, being
you have one. I'm sorry. Go on.
But like that's the thing too. Like being angry isn't necessarily even funny or entertaining. You know, it's like how you do it. Like for instance, I've never really cared for Angry Joe that much. You know, because you know you have a guy who's blatantly putting angry in his name, and this guy can't even pretend to be angry half the time. You know what I mean? And
he's never mad.
You know,
I've never seen him angry at all.
What I tried to do with my videos, like when I started making them, like I wanted to make reviews, but I wanted it to be like genuine anger. Like you can tell, like I'm pissed off at times and stuff, like because that's a lot more funny than just acting like you're angry all the time. You know? It's stupid.
And if I have to hear another online reviewer of the female persuasion with the word chick in her fucking title,
God, yeah.
I may in fact have to open fire. I mean, aside from Game Dude, what male reviewer even makes reference to his gender? You know what I mean? Like,
well, they all got those fucking hipster beards now, so you don't really have to ask.
Yeah, I'm the gaming vag, and I'm absolutely not exploiting my gender for monetary gain. Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny is to see how so many game companies, they hire these girls that are supposed to be like trophies, but they're not first place trophies. Like if you're trying to sell your product with a pretty girl, I don't know, maybe you should go get a pretty girl.
I would happily take
up the salary, Kaz. You know, step it up a little bit and get someone who I don't know is tolerable to look at.
I mean, what does that make me? If you're the gaming veg, what am I? The game cock? I wouldn't have an issue with them either, as long as they didn't say things that haven't already been said by 5,000 other people in far more articulate.
They weren't actually reading a fucking teleprompter.
Yeah, and if
blink once in a while, bitch, blink.
Listen, let me just say it once and for all time: the novelty of seeing your cans is not adequate impetus for launching your own online show. This is the internet, all right? I'm a keystroke and a click away from enough fornication to turn my right hand into a penile socket wrench for the next week and a half, right? The top half of your water bra enhanced cleavage is not enough to bring my jaded Johnson to fucking attention. I need nipple clamps and a trained circus elephant to get a half chub at this point, all right? You're gonna have to step your game up, sunshine.
And we hope you do. You know, if you have any inquiries, please drop us a line.
Hey. I just want to weigh in one. I just want to weigh in one.
Please.
Sorry. Okay.
Before I forgot.
I do have to agree that there are a lot of people that have bitten off AVGN shtick because it did well. And there's no denying that. Most people didn't even start making video game videos until James Rolfe went out there, did it, and other people said, I think I could do that too, or do something like that. And, you know, it is real easy to go and be angry and try to make humor out of it. But the irony is that is somebody like me, I'm some ranting, raving lunatic, but every review that I did was on games that I liked. And I was never angry during any of them. I actually liked all those games. That's why I want to review them, because I thought they were cool. I don't know, man. People really just ride the coattails of whatever the fuck is, popular at the moment and whatever they dig and can get other people into. So there's the rage.
It's just like rap rock, reality TV, and the pet rock before it.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just one of those things. Hey, people are buying into this.
But
I really should have been called the Rantaholic or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
I'm
Just 'cause
really
I'm-
still voting for Snidaholic myself.
Here's one thing I actually want to point out, though. Just going back to AVGN just briefly. What in his first few years of actually doing his videos, the earlier reviews were all genuine emotions that he felt let down by the games that were bought for him or he had bought. For example, the Back to the Future game. He likes Back to the Future, the film. He thought the game would have been awesome, but as you can tell, the game's actually a piece of shit. And
Yeah.
he just wanted to express how he felt at the time with it, with that game. Same with Simon's Quest. I can see why he didn't like it. Cause
Well, and that's how genres are born, though. It's just one of those
Exactly.
things. It just happens.
Exactly, and that's what he tries to point out with these videos. He makes, yes, they are angry reviews, but he tries to make them entertaining. And I will admit, his current videos are not the greatest reviews that he's done.
Well, also don't forget when
his cash-ins. I'm not a big fan of the movie that's going to be coming out. I don't think it's going to be worthwhile to see. It's how he's going to do it is is he going to be selling it straight to DVD? Is he going to be put it on Cinemassacre? So
Hey! Quit shilling Angry Video Game Nerd on this fucking podcast, man. How much did he pay you? How much did he pay you?
I'm being constructive.
bought.
I'm being constructive and objectively. I'm just.
I still think you've been bought and paid for, Sainted Magnus.
Oh, fuck off.
Anyway, if you have questions at all for the Hate-Bit Podcast, please drop us a line at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com and Facebook, and you've heard me before. Anyway,
Yeah, the
you guys are. You know what? Since you got paid off, I'm going to get paid off too. I just want to tell you guys all about the Classic Gaming Expo in Las Vegas, Nevada, August 10th and 12th. I get to do this, 11th and 12th, cgexpo.com. Anyway.
And of course buy a ShamWow.
And ShamWow and RC Cola. Anyway. You know what? You guys aren't going to believe this, but we got some suggestions already for Hate-Bit merchandise, and I really want to bring this up. All the stuff that people want. And if you have suggestions for Hate-Bit merchandise, please drop us a line down below or at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. But these were some suggestions, and some of them may come to life, some of them may not. But here's what the audience wants as of right now.
This is going to
First
make
and
me laugh.
foremost, they want Hate-Bit panties.
Yes.
I think they have auto disintegration functionality. They want
Only when we come near.
right. They want sainted muffins. They would like to have a Hate-Bit beat 'em up. I imagine that would be in the style of the Scott Pilgrim game. So
Yeah.
who knows?
All four of us on the Scott Pilgrim 8-bit
They
game. That's
want
awesome.
they want the Alpha Omega Sin wig and goatee attachment.
Hat DLC.
Yeah, no, they want booty shorts with the word slag across the behind.
Yes.
Yeah.
They want razor fist glasses and mascara kit.
That's one for the ladies.
Which might be able to oblige. They
Some
want
for the ladies.
they want a special edition A Salieri shit cube lunchbox. So that's going to be fabulous when we have that. That'll be an expense. That'll be like $50,000.
Shit cube.
But you know what? We will have A Salieri. He'll authenticate every last one of them. I assure you. They really want Alpha Omega Sins Make Women Fuck You cologne.
Works every time.
And the top voted one was one I actually proposed, and it's going to be a simple T-shirt with the Hate-Bit Podcast logo across the chest, and along the backside will say "Fuck you, we're from the internet." So if you have any suggestions for the Hate-Bit Podcast merchandise and are ready to pony up your hard-earned dollars, please drop us a line at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. You know what we're going to do? When we finally get a real cohesive list here, we're going to put a poll on the Facebook page. So make sure you like us on Facebook so you can weigh in on that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'll
You can
put
take
that
your
poll
pole
up.
position.
I'll put
And
the
take
poll
your
up.
poll position. Position for your poll. Wait
Yeah.
a minute.
But
Oh,
there is one suggestion I want to put on there.
What's your suggestion, Saint Magnus?
A DVD box set of the first 15 episodes. What do you think?
Someone suggested that, and I said you can listen to it for free on YouTube.
Yeah,
know.
but they want to have it on disc, don't they? We're collectors.
There's just these suckers that buy things that are free on DVD.
Yeah,
I know.
there you go. We might as well take a leaf out of all these mindless cash-ins, haven't we?
Hey, if Irate Gamer can sell a DVD box set,
I'm convinced he's selling that to himself.
The retro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that he
There's
bought
no
every
way
copy.
someone bought more than 2 of those.
Yeah, but then look at Ed Finley. He sells box sets of his episodes, and
I think
No,
they
no,
even
no.
make those
no,
box
no.
sets.
Selling them and having them available for sale are two different things, my friend.
oh no. Let's get it working. Let's get it working. Go on.
I don't know. I mean, hey, Razorfist, do you have any suggestions? What kind of merch do you want to see?
A Rageaholic cod piece,
Nice.
There were suggestions for a Rageaholic cod piece.
an exploding cod piece. Thank you very much.
There was
Wasps.
no, but they did suggest fireworks.
Blackie Lawless style. Thank you very much.
Alpha. What would you
Alpha
like?
makes sense. What kind of merchandise you gonna have?
I don't know. I'm really digging that "fuck me" cologne.
They
that'd be
No,
pretty
no,
easy.
dude. Fuck me cologne is just I just spray liquid money on me, and it
Yeah,
works.
I was gonna say I could always just have the zipper undone and just have your money clip there and just go out and about and wait for a bite.
Truth is,
Trying to
you
think.
feel like-
I guess that I would try to find a way to make. I don't know. I want a random alpha omega sin dildo, so ladies will be like, "Oh, this is awesome," but I want it to also double as a power glove somehow. So yeah, there we go.
I was just about ready to say, I think we should all have color-coordinated power gloves.
You're the guest.
Power glove?
Well, I've already got the Razor Fist. I've already got the big gauntlet. So
Yeah,
maybe
everyone wants an official Razor Fist too.
It's
maybe
ribbed
maybe
for
I
her
could
pleasure.
market one that doubles as a dildo. Maybe.
No,
Yeah,
you
dude,
get out of foam.
I think that makes.
Get out of foam and I'll buy it.
Here's the thing: we also have to find the dude that did the whole power glove thing in the Wizard of saying it's so bad. We have to hire him back.
And now
and
he's in
tell him,
jail,
"You-
man.
You
He's a
have to
sexual
do this
predator."
commercial.
He's in
Or
jail.
get Lucas.
Yeah, that dude's just straight up like
He's a weirdo.
To Catch a Predator style.
Yeah.
He probably masturbates with the power glove.
That's okay. We'll just have people bring him in at gunpoint, have him do his line and everything. And if he gets all fucking crazy, we shoot him and then keep it in the commercial because it was so fucking awesome. It's worth killing for. So there you go.
He obviously should have kept his power gloves to himself.
Now you're playing with power.
Yeah.
Now you're playing with power. At least 2 clips worth of power. Yeah.
He loves the power glove. It's so bad.
Yeah.
And-
So is he.
You know what on him? He goes, "It's so bad."
Yeah. Anyway, what other merchandises are on that list? There must be some.
That was the end of the list. That's why I'm calling out for suggestions. If you have a suggestion, please drop us a line at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. Anyway, Alpha Omega Sin and I, Alpha, you did a video about Shigeru Miyamoto talking about a Zelda sequel, a sequel to A Link to the Past, and I got very excited. And I said, "Oh, this sounds like big news."
Oh.
And it seems like you and I were the only people that had any interest in this because right after they said, "Well, where's Majora's Mask?" And that's all the talk has been about a remake. What do you have people have against fucking new games?
What?
What do people have against new games?
Dude, here's the thing. Everybody wants to go. Like, I have nothing against them doing remakes and everything so long as they have a dedicated team to doing that and then they focus their main efforts on moving the series forward. If they want a Majora's Mask remake, I'm all for it, especially after seeing the fucking fan trailer that some people conjured up. I was like, holy shit, this is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen, with the exception of that Wii U graphical trailer that they did for Legend of Zelda, which blew my fucking mind all over the fucking place. It looked like a fucking big bowl of Bisquick just exploded in the kitchen. But seeing that, I was just like, that'd be cool. But a Legend of Zelda Link to the Past sequel, you mean that we could like go and start arguing over the timeline again? We could have another top-down perspective Legend of Zelda game, which on a console would be fucking amazing. I doubt it would be. It'd probably be on the 3DS or some shit. But dude, just the very idea of them using the 3D would be fucking awesome. So I'm all for this.
Even using the power of the 3DS or anything for that matter. Why did the top-down die?
No idea.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, but
It's such a powerful notion. You can express such powerful things with such simple graphical design.
you can, but here's the thing: they moved into 3D right after that one, with the exception of the CDI games, which don't really fucking count. But they moved into 3D when they went with the Nintendo 64, and that was the wave of the future, and it was, much more immersive to all players at that point. But now, the 90s, we already got 3D out of our system. Now, you just got to build a game, make it fun, make it work. And top-down, I think, is something that they need to kind of bring back.
Oh, but James Cameron says 3D is the wave of the future.
Yeah, but
James Cameron is a rusted-shut cunt and should explode.
That's a bad visual.
James Cameron says a lot of
It is a bad visual.
I just imagine, here's my visual for it. I imagine James Cameron, but he was like an old rusty vagina. When he exploded, it was just like nasty flesh and like pubic hair stuck to the walls everywhere, and everybody was unhappy.
But was rusted shut?
Yes.
Wow.
As in, imagine like there's a bomb inside or something.
You know what I love about this? There's like some 15-year-old kids listening to this who have like really good imaginations, and we're emotionally scarring them.
Hey,
Yeah.
You want to know what? That's absolutely fine. They're being brought up the right way. So if your parents aren't telling you this shit, you're welcome.
Vaginas get rusted shut, so you got to play with them once in a while.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Remember, it's all about the clit. You do the fucking reach around while you pound them from behind. Bitches fucking love that, man. Trust me.
Yeah.
The more
If
you
you're
know.
doing it right, you will hear the Imperial March play.
Hey, if you can tell a girl, I want you to play with your clit using my cock, you're doing something right, kiddo. There you go.
There you go. So do your thing. Anyway, you know what? Razorfist didn't really weigh in, and Silent Rob didn't really weigh in. What do you think about all this, the remake thing? Why does everyone need the game again?
That's kind of my thing. Like, if the game is completely playable, the old game is completely playable, then unless you're going to add something significant to it, I don't really care. Like, there's not a lot of games and remakes I really enjoy. Like, I like the Bionic Commando Rearmed, like the remake they did on that. I think they added a significant amount of stuff to it. But, like, I've played, like, Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, and I'm just like, man, this is just Ocarina of Time again, Like, I can only play this game so many times. I've been playing this motherfucking game since, like, 1998, you know what I mean? It's a good game, but give me a goddamn break, But, yeah.
Look, I love Majora's Mask. It's my favorite Zelda game, probably. But at the same time, you want these new games to actually come. I mean, look, we've seen what Nintendo does with remakes.
Yeah.
They already did an Ocarina of Time remake on the GameCube, and it was basically the exact same thing, just ported.
Yeah.
And it's like, unless... The problem with remakes is that games like Resident Evil 1 are the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
And the rule is that they're going to suck, and they're not going to devote enough time or fiduciary resources to actually make this thing fucking rule,
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And the Resident Evil remake is a perfect example. That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's
that's
exactly how you
one of
should
the-
do it. And unfortunately,
one of all-time
virtually no one does it that way. Unfortunately, we get an awful lot of Turtles in Time reshelled.
Ew. Why do you say those things? That's
We get very few Super Street Fighter 2 HD remakes.
How many street versions of Street Fighter 2 have we had, though?
Oh, let's not even get into the Silent Hill HD remake.
Oh,
Oh, God.
No,
I don't
HD
even want to fucking talk about that shit.
Ugh.
The thing
Well, you
is,
brought it
HD
up,
remakes-
motherfucker.
Or the Metal Gear-
remakes aren't even HD remakes. All they're doing is they're like, okay, I think that we're gonna go and up the textures. Cool, we're done.
They didn't even do that. I mean,
They
the
didn't even do
Metal Gear
that.
Solid, the Metal Gear Solid HD remakes they didn't even up the textures at all.
They did.
I mean, it's just they put it in widescreen. They should call it the widescreen collection.
Dude, well, here's one thing that's just a tad bit worse about the Silent Hill one, besides the fact that it's a big, buggy, fucking unplayable fucking shit heap, is the fact that they were just like, oh, well, you know how Silent Hill 2 is extremely neat and amazing? It's like, yeah, I know. It's my favorite of the series. Yeah, well, I think that we need new voice actors. Let's make it worse. And it's like,
Yeah.
wait, no! And then
Luckily,
they
they
just shit
brought
on it.
back. Yeah, luckily they brought back the old ones, so you have the option. But still,
Dude, I just didn't understand what the fuck the point was, though. It's like, why did you do this? Like, why?
the point was they were trying to avoid paying the old actors royalties because they never paid sales royalties on the original games, and Konami's been avoiding the voice actors ever since. And they've done this with a lot of people, by the way. Metal Gear Solid voice actors. I mean, you heard all the drama when David Hayter tried to get the Twin Snakes made.
Yep.
And he tried to bring all the voice actors back together, and Konami was avoiding them because they didn't want to pay him royalties and all this shit.
See, that shit's ridiculous. It's like, look, dude, you got this set in stone. This is the fucking sound of this character, and it's done right. Okay, that's just how it is. After Batman the Animated Series, I'm sorry, no other Batman sounds like Batman. You know, it's like that's who I expect to be Batman. And with
Kevin Conroy?
Kevin Conroy
right.
is Batman. Every other Batman who's voiced Batman was not Batman. And the same thing goes with Metal Gear Solid. If they are going to bring in a fucking remake for it, then you need to have all those same characters, because as soon as you start hearing them, you're going to automatically start having a messed up looking face, just like that's not right. What the fuck is this? This is all wrong. Backwards, inside out, fucking butthole syndrome. I can't handle this.
I don't think anybody realizes how important voice work is.
Oh, it's extremely important.
I mean, you can think about different actors over different years that you've heard in different, parts of entertainment or different regions of entertainment. And the one that always comes back to me is how Dave Coulier, Joey from Full House, fucking wrecked the real Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to think too. I mean,
it wasn't all his fault, but goddamn it, I'm gonna blame him anyway.
Oh.
You got to think, because your game could be remembered for bad voice acting. I mean, the first thing you talk about when you talk about Resident Evil 1 is the fucking voice acting.
But that's because it's amazing.
That's because it's amazingly fucking bad. It loops back around into good again.
Look,
it's so bad, it's like they did it on purpose.
If you don't believe that voice acting can make or break something, go listen to some fan dub anime sometime.
Oh god.
What a treat.
Oh.
I have listened to some, and it turns into nothing but a fucking comedy. Look, here, for everybody listening right now, if you want to hear one of the funniest fucking things ever, there's this hentai. It's called Bible Black, and somebody did English dub on that, and I got fucking sent numerous clips of this shit. I died laughing at this. It is fucking hilarious whenever you have quote-unquote chicks talking, and they talk like this. Yeah, you fucking like that. Suck it, whore. And it's like, what the fuck is happening? I need ear bleach. I can't fucking handle this anymore. This is fucking terrible.
That's not good.
There was a show similar to that over here. I'm not sure if you remember that, but it's called Badly Dubbed Porn. That is just that. If you want something cheesy, that is funny.
Dude,
do people really need porn to be dubbed? They're like porn connoisseurs out there. It's like, I just can't listen to it in Spanish.
I gotta know what the storyline is, man.
I know, you gotta know the storyline. Why does this guy have a tool belt on? Was he fixing the copier?
This is important.
This is important shit. Anyway, yeah, so I'm sick and tired of the remakes. Make some new goddamn games, but as we know, they're not very profitable. Boys, I got bad news. We're getting towards the end of our program here, and it's I know it's sad. I know it's time for my favorite part, your favorite part, everybody's favorite part, the rant. And today the rant is brought to us by Silent Rob. Silent Rob, our special guest. He's gonna bitch and complain at you. So Rob, what are you gonna bitch and complain about?
All right. Well, I was thinking about what I was gonna rant about, and I think I'm gonna rant about what I actually ranted about last week, which was the how Skyrim is pretty much still completely fucked up, and I just guess it's never going to be fixed now. I guess they've just given up. And I actually heard that Bethesda's pretty much come out and said that the reason why Skyrim is screwed up on the PS3 is because of the PS3, and not them, because it's totally not their fault that they released a complete fucking train wreck of a game. It's definitely the consumer's fault, because the PlayStation 3 version is just as good as the 360 version, right? Even though it was the same fucking price when they first came out. I beg to fucking differ. I went over to my friend's house the other day because I haven't fucking played the thing since December when I made my rant on it. And I went over to my friend's house. It was like a couple weeks ago. And he's like, dude, you're not even going to fucking believe this. He's like, what? He walks up, he jumps into some fucking water, and the motherfucking game freezes. It fucking freezes. Okay? Listen up, Bethesda. You know, if you don't want the game to freeze up with water and everything like that, maybe you should not put water in the game, okay? Maybe that'll help you guys out. Maybe that'll help the frame rate a little bit. If maybe you take all the water out, maybe all the trees. I don't know what you guys need to do to get your shit running right, but you need to fucking do it. This game's been out way too long for this shit to go on. And, you know, people can make a case out of, hey, you should have got the PC version. Oh, you can do this and that. And I actually do have the PC version, but, you know, I wanted the PS3 version. And when you're going in to buy a game, you expect the fucking thing to work. And Skyrim on the PS3 doesn't fucking work. And it's just not right. And that's my fucking rant.
Still not. I mean, that's the thing. If you're not...
How dare you expect a game to work?
They want to have an excuse to patch it later on. And
Right
so
out
it's
loud,
more
haven't you
DLC.
played Final Fantasy 14? Games don't have to work anymore.
Exactly. Exactly. That sums it up.
But, I mean, the PS3 version is... Here's the thing. Maybe they needed to take more time. Although they've taken more time now, and it hasn't apparently ameliorated the situation. But maybe you needed to do another thing like you did with Oblivion. It's the thing. It's their greed. It's their greed at the end of the day. Because they could have released it. They could have released it for just 360 and PC to begin with, because those are easier to port for, and then given the PS3 version a better version with more DLC down the road, like they did with Mass Effect 2, like BioWare did. But instead, they were like, nope, got to make the money now, got to make it now. And sure enough, it winds up, you know, driving...
Because they knew. There's no way they didn't know. You know, they're going to act like they're all surprised or anything. No. They knew. I guarantee there's meetings saying, hey, this fucking version of Skyrim is fucked up. We got to release it, because we can't just have one version of the game not fucking come out on release day and have to push one back. We got to release this. And it's exactly like you said. It's all fucking greed.
It's a shame.
It's also being straight up unrealistic. What is that where everything has to drop on the same day? If Sony was really interested in getting games, you know, the same day and having that advantage, they would have made a console that could be worked with.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's all about greed is all it is. If they had their avarice in check, they would have been like, okay, let's make a finished version of whatever game on whatever console we decide to release this on, and then concentrate on making sure it's finished before we release it.
That's it, man. You know, all we want is a game that works, you know, and...
Game that works must be out your goddamn
Why is this a special order?
Yeah,
You want to know why?
Yeah, there was a time when you make a game, you know, you could, like, use it and stuff, but now, fuck y'all.
Dude, it's because they know that they can go back and fucking patch the game later, so play
But the difference
testing
is they
the game-
haven't, so...
It's like, you know, it kind of reminds me, do any of you guys eat at Chipotle?
We don't
Every
have
now
Once in
that
a
over
while,
here.
yeah. Once in a while.
Right? They make some mean burritos, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you go down to Chipotle now. I remember when I first started there in 2005, you'd go over there and you'd get a burrito the size of, like, it was like half the size of your forearm. It was freaking huge, humongous, this thing. And you couldn't finish. I could never finish a Chipotle burrito. Then, from like 2007 on, they've just been taking like an inch at a time out of this thing. And it's like nowadays, in order to get an actual burrito from like 2000, like a 2005 Chipotle burrito, you have to order a burrito bowl and get the tortilla on the side. It's like I have to special order a full burrito now. What is this?
I was gonna say, did you ever eat at a place called Moe's?
No, never heard of it.
They're just like Chipotle pretty much, but their burritos are a lot like the old school.
I mean,
Chipotle
I live in Phoenix. We got a taco stand on every corner where you can get a burrito the size of your forearm for $4. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah, I'm
and
pretty
it's
sure you
authentic.
guys are like a human trafficking hub.
I know it's.
I mean, there's not like you guys are short of people to make Mexican food.
Oh, I know on that note.
That caught me off guard.
But anyway,
On that note.
no. I can only imagine, what do? They like make like a big burrito, they cut it in half, give you half, and then throw the other half in the trash and say, that's what you get for not paying for it.
Oh no, they take the other half and just give it to the next person who orders it.
Yeah,
just
they
keep
get
it
the
under
other
a heat
half.
lamp or some shit.
See, you should be a dick. You should like ask for your burrito to have like jelly beans in it just to fuck it up for the next person.
Can I have the rest of my fucking burrito, please? God damn.
I see the other half back there. Don't fuck with me.
We're literally approaching the
Anyway.
point now we're literally approaching the point now with games, with food, with everything, where they're gonna start selling you the complete edition of stuff. I mean, they really, in a way, they already have. What about this Arkham City complete edition? What about this? I mean, they're releasing complete editions, finished editions of games now, and it's absolutely absurd.
It is.
It is, and the people will keep putting up with it, and that's why we're the Hate-Bit Podcast. To remind you, you don't have to put up with this shit.
No.
Speak up,
Speak
and
up.
it'll turn itself around.
Speak up
Anyway.
with your wallet.
Anyway, you've wasted another perfectly good hour and a half, or however long this son of a bitch was, listening to the Hate-Bit Podcast. I'm Yel Chaos. Joining me as always was Razor Fist,
Whores!
Alpha Omega Sin,
Slags.
Sainted Magnus,
Slappers.
Ah!
super duper special guest Silent Rob.
Fuck games.
Hate-Bit Podcast.
On fire.
The Hate-Bit Podcast is on the air. Welcome, Hater Nation. I'm Yel Chaos. With me, as always, the mighty Razor Fist.
Okay.
He's a mime.
Alpha Omega Sin.
I feel bad because I'm laughing at the fact that Razor Fist became a mime. That's never any good.
He's stuck in a cardboard box.
He's so badass you don't even have to fucking talk, dude.
No.
Yeah, you just feel his presence.
Well, that's his
It's like
replacement.
a ghost, I guess.
We've got a replacement for him anyway.
He's glaring. He's glaring at all of it. He's glowering at what he's doing.
Yeah.
The insurmountable Sainted Magnus.
Yellow.
And our special guest from Leisure Suit Gaming on YouTube, Silent Rob. Silent Rob, who are you? What are you
Jesus
doing?
Christ. Hold on. You guys started stop it and restart.
No, we've already got the gag.
I thought you were being dramatic.
No, that was horrendous. Start it over.
We've got the gags. We're keeping the gags. No, we're keeping it. Go on, keep rolling.
It was
Alright.
like a gag, but without a punchline. You gotta restart.
Oh,
Do it
fuck's
again.
sake.
Start again.
Well, it's not our fault you decide to fuck off when we start recording.
You have 45 seconds of footage. Restart.